And we're live. Hey everybody, welcome to the Multiverse Show, episode 163, the greatest show on Mondays. Thank you guys for tuning in. We got a lot to cover today, a lot of things to do. So first off, let's do our introductions. First off, we got the Titan of Texas, founder of Level 1 Gaming, Mr. Fame Entertainment.
Oh, what's going on, people? Fame Entertainment here from LV1Gaming.com. And thank you guys once again for rocking out with the Multiverse Show, the greatest show on the Mondays. And, yeah, buddy.
All right, and we also have the Caesar of Cinema, Mr. James Wilson.
Hello, everybody. There has been actual goddamn news this week for us to talk about. Thank God. I am just here in my parents' house, counting the hours until I can play The Last of Us on Friday.
Oh boy. All right, and we also have the Don of Deletion, Mr. Mike P. The Truth.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Mike. Man, I gotta say, we got a fire show planned for you guys tonight. Can't wait to dive into these topics, so let's get it started.
All right, and we also have the White Wolf himself, Mr. Samuel Tolbert.
Everybody, it is really good to be here. We got a great show, ton of packed stuff, and I am counting down the minutes until this show is over so I can go play The Last of Us Part 2. So let's get the show on the road.
Wait, have you got it?
Oh yeah. I'm allowed to say that I got it. I've got the code. It's installed right now, and I'm gonna go hop on once this is over. So.
All right, and I'm told through the multiverse frequencies that we are actually going to have Mr. Undead 3XVI coming in, the Gamer of Fortune, the Chief of Achievements. So we'll wait to see when he shows up. So we got a couple things we're going to go through. First off, the question we ask every single week: what have you guys been playing? Let's start with Sam. What you been playing, sir? I know you haven't been playing Last of Us 2 yet.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet. I've mostly been playing Ori and the Will of the Wisp whenever I get a chance to play anything, continuing to make my way through that. It's a gorgeous game. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. It's wonderful. My favorite game of the year so far that I have played, even though I haven't beaten it yet. And beyond that, I actually finished out the Call of Duty Warzone Season 3 Battle Pass, and now I'm working on finishing up the Gears Season 3 Battle Pass before the next one comes in July. But it's mainly been Ori, honestly.
All right, not bad, not bad. James, you get a chance to play anything?
I played the opening couple missions of Star Wars Battlefront 2, and then got bored. So I went to play. I continued to play not Warzone, Call of Duty World War 2. That's what I've been doing. I've been playing that and my new guitar. I bought a Gretsch, and I've just been learning how to play all the songs by Queen of the Stone Age. So this is what I'm doing with my productive time.
For you, man. I'm proud of you.
All right, Mike, what you playing, sir?
I've been on a racing game kick as of late, mainly getting back into Forza Horizon 4, mainly playing that mode, the Eliminator. If you guys haven't played it, it's basically PUBG meets Forza Horizon. It's great. It's a ton of fun. I don't know why it took me so long to play this mode, but I have to say it's really, really good. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah, that's basically what I've been playing over the past week.
All right, and Fame.
I've been doing a lot of Obsidian chess farming and Minecraft dungeons. Finally started playing Nier Automata, which I can't believe I slept on that game. And then I just recently started up the Swim Sanity, which if you guys have, I did an interview with the developers at Decoy Games. And I was given the opportunity to actually stream the game on Summer Game Fest on their front cover page. So I'm trying to figure out if I actually got the time to do it, but I was given the opportunity to do it. So definitely, guys, check out Swim Sanity. But mostly, I've been farming chest, Obsidian chest, and Minecraft dungeons.
Nice. All right. For me, I played a little Fallout 76 until recently. You'll find out why tonight. I have
Because you have nothing better to do.
I finished Doom last night.
What'd you think?
Really enjoyed it. Definitely more of a ride than the first game. Although I think it's just because the first, the 2016 game was more true to Doom form location-wise, but I really enjoyed almost the change. Maybe a change of pace is the right term for it. I really don't know. I think it's more because it's the vertical gameplay made it interesting. for Doom Eternal, but I've really enjoyed playing it. A little bit of Red Dead Online, so fun stuff. Anyway, so Sam, we have our corporate sponsors ourselves this week. So,
so basically, I don't even know really what to tell you, except you're much better suited for explaining this situation than I am. We are having a bit of a literal multiverse problem, and we are sponsoring ourselves. We flung a light into the future to take care of ourselves. It's complicated.
yeah, maybe we could tell you sometime, but we'll talk about it at the end of the show tonight. So, we got a lot of things we got to cover, lots of fun stuff. James, real quick, any sort of movie news the last 2 weeks? I think it's been a little bit.
Not really. I mean, Artemis Fowl came out, direct to Disney Plus, and I'm sort of happy it only came out on Disney Plus and not in films, because this film came out in cinemas, they would have lost so much money. Like, this film is getting like a mauling by reviewers. I don't think it's that bad. I just think it's incredibly not entertaining. But it's not anti-entertaining. It's bizarre.
Well,
Like,
would you say it's bad, but not in a funny, interesting way? Just it's bad in a okay, this exists type way.
Yeah, there's moments of it where it is so bad. It's like you just can't believe what's going on. You know, Josh Gad at one point putting his hands in his jaw and making his jaw massive, and then eating into the ground, and then farting out dirt.
Don't tell me Josh
crazy.
Gad plays Diggums.
Oh, Josh Gad plays Mulch Diggums. So yes, this is Artemis Fowl, based on the books of the same name. I haven't read them, so I don't know. It's just a bit boring. Like some bits are really, really interesting, but they spend the first 40 minutes with a constant narration telling you what's going on, and I at times was screaming "shut the hell up" at my screen, and I just wanted to like experience the world and try to like use some intelligence. I felt I was being dumbed down to. That's the thing that really bothered me about the film, not like the average acting and the sort of weird accents, and somehow like Judi Dench is in it, but I prefer her as a cat, frankly, than as a fairy. Yeah, Artemis Fowl, like, give it a watch if you've got kids. They'll like it. It's not one of those films that adults can enjoy while watching it with their kids.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. I remember back forever ago, when I was a kid, I remember seeing a trailer. Not trailer. Because it wasn't really a trailer. It didn't really show anything. It was more like an advertisement for a movie they were going to be working on in the future for Artemis Fowl. It was on a VHS tape. I remember it vividly. I remember because it was panning out over this shot of like a puppet on like the far right-hand corner in the foreground. It was like a large expanse in the background, and they're talking about Artemis Fowl, boy mastermind, and all this stuff. I was like, wow. Like, I want to see this movie. And I actually went through it. It made me go read the books. And the books are okay. It's kind of like, okay, you know, like it's like a heist movie as a book, but for children, so it's not that complicated.
This film is not a heist movie. I'll tell you that.
I'm talking about the books at least. I mean, the books have that tone of it's a heist movie. Like things are prepared. Like you're preparing for like whatever the plot was, and it's always in advance, and you know most of it. And like, oh yeah, he knows everything. He's the mastermind behind everything. So,
yeah.
But yeah,
the lead actor is the grandson of Robert Shaw, and that is the only thing that isn't noteworthy about him. He is one of the most boring on-screen performances I've ever seen. I've never seen someone who looks so like they don't hate that they're there, but they can't emote any emotion at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have to like have other characters say that he's sad because he can't convey it with his face.
Basically.
And I know he's like a teenager, and I shouldn't be ragging on him for not being a good actor, but you're the title character in a movie. You have to be better than this.
Yeah.
And also the girl who plays Holly Short, which is one of the elf. She's young and she's played by the girl who plays is like 15 or 16. She's a breath of fresh air every time she's on the screen. She like lights it up with like fun facial expressions and good line delivery, and she's quite funny. And like, it's great when she's on, but then when the fun vacuum that is Artemis Fowl comes on screen, it's like, the energy's gone. Cheers.
Actually, that sounds pretty accurate to the books. Actually, he's really kind of dull.
Oh really? All right.
Yeah,
okay.
that actually might be pretty on point, because like I remember the books, like all he is in the books is more like, oh yeah, I know more than you. I'm a dick. That's pretty much it. That's the root of his character.
Oh, well, maybe this is a really good adaptation then.
I'll watch it later. I'll get back to you sometime in the future. So, anyway.
Sam, are you still laughing at fun vacuum?
Yeah. All right, so we got stuff to talk about. We got a lot of stuff to go over. So first off on the docket, biggest news that happened last week. PlayStation 5 has finally been revealed. We got a spec breakdown a while ago. All we really got from that is it's going to have a really fast SSD and it's not as powerful as the Series X. But we finally got a design portion. We're going to kind of do this a little bit differently. I thought about a couple different ways to do this for portion. We're just going to do like a breakdown of some of the major moments in terms of this one, just kind of get everyone's opinion on these particular instances. So real quick, we're going to go through some of the parts of the show, the major things. We know they started off with announcing stuff for GTA 5. GTA 5 is coming to next gen. Oh my god. Yeah.
I'm really excited because now it's a third console that I'm not going to play Grand Theft Auto on. I can't wait to not play this game.
Yeah, GTA. Anyway, we're just going to ignore that like we've been doing. Moving on to that little portion there. We got our first major announcement. One I know Fame was super pumped for. Spider-Man Miles Morales coming out this year. So Fame, as the leading cheerleader for Miles Morales, I need to know your opinion, sir.
So originally, right, just like everybody else, well, hopefully everybody else, I was like super pumped and excited. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying I'm no longer excited. I'm not saying that. But the thought of a full-fledged $60 Spider-Man Miles Morales game was enough for me to buy the PS5 day one. Because of course I didn't plan on dropping $1,000 for both the Series X and the PS5, right? And so to hear it's like Lost Legacy, I'm like, okay, that means it's gonna be about $30. It's probably gonna be, 6-7 hours long. I'm excited that Miles has a game, but I think he deserves a full-fledged game because there's so many layers behind the character that is Miles Morales. I do plan on buying it as soon as possible. I'm still super excited, but my hype died a little bit finding out it's along the lines of Lost Legacy instead of being along the lines of a full-fledged Uncharted game.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna open the floor to anybody else. What are your thoughts on Miles Morales? Are you excited? You're a little disappointed because they I know they bungled the messaging a little bit because at first everyone thought it was a full-fledged game because they didn't really say anything about it at the reveal. But then they had a PlayStation exec goes out and says, "Yeah, it's like an expansion and a remaster." And the people were thinking they're going to remaster Spider-Man for PlayStation 4, and this is going to be a DLC pack. It's like, well, is it coming to PlayStation 4 now? They're just asking these questions, and everyone's all confused, and then we had clarification later that day that no, it's going to be a separate game, but it's going to be a smaller title.
I get it. It's supposed to be their PS5 launch title, but I mean, you're launching with a half-ass game. This game should be on PS4. I'm sorry. It needs to be on PS4. It wasn't like this was a new Spider-Man game. It's almost as if Sony is trying to mask the fact that they don't have any games ready for their console launch. But hey, who am I? I'm just a guy who runs a website, and people think I'm biased.
Mm-hmm. What do those guys think?
I'm excited. I think it's going to be banging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll interject if you guys can hear me. I'm kind of having internet troubles. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, we got this.
Okay. Basically, I really like it. I think it's smart actually to do it this way because it allows Insomniac to cut their teeth on the PS5, and it allows them to learn the tech a little bit while also delivering a Spider-Man game way faster than anyone thought they would. And it allows them to introduce Miles ahead of time so that the next big Spider-Man game, probably in 2022, will feature him and Peter as co-protagonists. I think it's a win-win all around.
I'm more upset about the disrespect to Miles Morales.
How is it disrespect to get him a game faster than he would otherwise?
Because he deserves his own full-fledged game.
So
The character.
Okay, well, spoiler alert, that was never going to happen. They're setting up a bunch of Spider-Men. That's what they're doing here.
Spoiler alert, this was a perfect opportunity in the climate we're in to give us a full-fledged Miles Morales game. The character, as you can see with Spider-Verse, the character is finally, after years of being disrespected and years of not getting the spotlight that it deserves, is finally being seen, and you finally get little black kids and little Latino kids finally seeing a Spider-Man that looks like them, and they're getting to enjoy themselves. So you finally bring them out, and you give us a half-ass edition. You should have gave us a full-fledged game. I don't care if it would have took another year, another 2 years. Miles Morales, at this point, has become almost a bigger household name to the casuals than Peter Parker. So with that,
Right,
being said,
the Peter Parker that was in Endgame and Infinity War.
he deserves his full-fledged game. At this point, when people think of Spider-Man, most children or casuals, they think of Miles Morales.
No,
Arguable.
But, okay.
Yes.
I think it's actually an arguable point, at least in terms of market share right now. There is a lot of Miles Morales merch out there. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but I can't. Okay, so like, I go out on occasion. Even during coronavirus, I still go outside. I do things. I mean, I do see Miles Morales merch out there. Like, I have seen.
Let's see how much Spider-Verse made, and let's see how much Spider-Man Homecoming made. Let's take a
we know,
look.
we know.
Yeah, well, why don't I put it this way? Did Spider-Man Homecoming or Far From Home win an Oscar?
No, it did not.
That's the Oscars.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a side argument for later when we have more time for that. But yeah, anyway,
and also Miles Morales Spider-Man says trans rights.
So real quick, we're gonna go over that little thing. It's been a kind of a weird point of contention. It's really kind of solidified Sony has not been very great about messaging for this next generation. A lot of confusion about stuff, but that was kind of the weird soft points. Rest of the event largely pretty quiet. There were a few little upticks there, like Resident Evil 8. I know got announced. Which we already kind of knew. Clank. Yep, and Ratchet and Clank.
Well, I've got the list in front of me in order, and we can fire through them. Okay, so we start with Mars, then we got Ratchet and Clank. I think this game looks great. The pre-alpha footage looks surprisingly good, even though people are complaining about pop-ins and all stuff like that. But it's pre-alpha. What are you going to expect?
Yeah.
You know. Anyone else think this has to be a launch title? Like, it's got to be, right?
I believe so.
Ratchet and Clank, you mean?
I would hope so.
Ratchet and Clank is a launch title.
Apart, yeah.
Alongside most of their showcase. Bar a couple of exceptions, it's the launch title.
Someone checked, and they got a timestamp for this. Do you know how long it took from the announcement of the female character to there being porn about her?
Yeah, what? Maybe an hour? Maybe?
19 minutes.
19 minutes? Who could draw that fast?
19 minutes.
In
fairness, it was words and not drawings, but still.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Okay, fine. now I'm going to mention a game that genuinely I was really really excited about, and I can't wait to play it because I've seen this demo over the years develop, and this is Stray.
Yeah.
There was a cat wearing a backpack. God damn it! I didn't need anything else.
I'm interested in at least that much. I'm at least interested. Like,
I want this to be Death Stranding, but you're a cat in a world in a city of robots. That's all I want. That's genuinely enough for me to play that game. Just traverse all around as a cat. That's it. I'm done.
Yep.
Anyone else want to add anything to Stray before we move on?
Oh, looks good.
Okay, next up is Returnal. This is the Housemarque game. I'm well into this. It looks like a weird Event Horizon cosmic horror time loopy thing. It ticks all of my boxes as horror and sci-fi. And I haven't really played any of the Housemarque games. They made Resogun, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah, usually they do arcade stuff. This is a big departure for them, honestly. But it looks cool. Like the name aside, it looks really interesting. I'm into the concept they're going for.
Yeah, Returnal. It's just not a good name.
Yeah.
But then again, Deathloop is taken.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Up next on my list, I have Destruction All Stars, which is the Demolition Derby, sort of post Fortnite, running around, climbing trees, all that kind of stuff. No trees. This game looks cool. I can't wait to play it on PS Plus. Yeah, that's
I know someone on the team, and I can say that. Yeah, basically, it's the weak link in the line.
I'm not trying to diss him. This isn't me having it looks cool, but right now I haven't seen enough for me to drop money on it.
It's the weak link in the lineup. There's no shame in admitting that.
Yeah. Up next we've got Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Look good.
This is the 3D animation. It was the sort of Zelda-like thing with the little inkling.
Ori Zelda.
Yeah, it looked like a little Zelda thing. And here's why it looks so much like Zelda. The team that made this had a bunch of the guys who made that awesome Majora's Mask short film from a couple of years back. So it's those guys, and they're making a game.
Ah.
I didn't know that when I watched it, but now you know it. It really colours that.
That's
that
interesting
thing
trivia.
differently. Well, I just can't wait. I think knowing that, I'm like, okay, I'm to get really dark. When does Majora show up? When does their own invention of Majora show up in a Sony game? It's cool. Anyway, and that is I haven't said anything about release dates. They're all 2020 or 2021. We haven't got any months or days because why would we? All right. Up next, I have on my list Goodbye Volcano High. Again,
No, not me. No, not for me.
Yeah, same here.
No.
what?
I gotta tell you guys this. So the person who is actually writing that game.
Oh, this is the Kate Gray thing.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
For those of you who are talking about here, I'll say what it is. So this is the one that was the dinosaur furry meets Life is Strange game. This is that game. This is. I really don't feel comfortable saying, but I need to say it in terms of what it is. So the writer behind this game is the same lady who posted child porn on Kotaku a couple years ago, and she was doing an article.
I mean, she wasn't really writing about child porn. She was doing a satirical review of some fan-made Harry Potter pornography.
It wasn't just Harry Potter, but yeah, she was doing a little thing about it. However, she decided I'm going to post pictures of it too, and other things too, and no, it's not good. I was going to say it's not good, and so this is what she's gone on to do, and That's as far as I'm going to say for that.
Well, I love Life is Strange. It's one of my favorite games. I really like the art aesthetic, and I actually think it looks really good. So I'm interested to play it.
Yep. All right.
Next up on my list is Ghostwire Tokyo. Anchorman, as the resident Bethesda expert, do you want to take this one?
I'll take this and Deathloop. Kuri Nakamura gave us all a very big warning. It's spooky.
It's spooky.
It is not. For me, I was kind of like, all right, cool. I was interested in the game the first time they showed it. Until I saw it was first person, and I'm like, It just doesn't look interesting anymore. And it might just because she's gone, but I'm not sure if that's the case. And for me, at least, it just doesn't. The fact that it's first person, for whatever reason, just doesn't make it look interesting to me at all. And so I'm just kind of like, well, that sucks. So I'm kind of like, well, I'm done with that. So I'll also bring up Deathloop here too. So they showed off a little more about Deathloop. Overall, I was actually sold on Deathloop for a while. For those who don't know, as a recap, it's going to be a game. It's going to be largely single player, with some notable exceptions. Where you're tasked with killing like 8 targets before midnight, and otherwise the world resets, so you gotta do it all over again. You may take it from a different mindset. However, cool factor is you're actually being hunted by another character. However, in your settings, you can actually have it so another player plays as that character who's hunting you down, which is a fun little idea to see. So I'm excited about that. However, Bethesda, in their infinite wisdom, decided to do something they haven't done before, or at least in recent memory. Definitely not this generation. Bethesda decided that, well, we tend to support every platform, and this last generation, we've been very supportive of every platform that comes across. If they're going to support our process, what we want to do, we're going to support them back. Xbox comes out. They say, oh, well, Xbox wants to dabble in mods. Okay, cool. We're going to allow mods on Xbox. PlayStation doesn't want to do that yet. That's fine. Don't worry about it. The PlayStation changes their policies. They start allowing it, so it was all right, cool. PlayStation VR wants to take off. Bethesda says, okay, cool. We'll do a little bit of that for you. So they allow them to make some so they make their own VR experience for PlayStation VR. They've been supporting everybody. They've been porting games that have no reason to be on the Switch and putting those games on the Switch, like Wolfenstein. There's no reason that game should be on there, but for whatever reason, they supported it regardless. That's cool. Bethesda's been very pro-consumer. When Xbox came out and did Game Pass, they said, okay, cool. We're going to put a bunch of our games on Game Pass like as soon as we can. Excellent stuff. That's great. Very supportive. Good job, Bethesda. However, this time, they decided, we're going to let Sony have timed exclusivity for the console versions of these games for Ghostwire and Deathloop. Now, I am not mad at Sony for doing this. Microsoft and Sony doing these sorts of things, yeah, I don't care for it. However, I can't be mad at them because their job is to get people to buy their console by any means necessary. I can't be mad at them for offering money for this kind of deal. I'm mad at Bethesda for taking the deal because they don't need the deal. Now, like, goodbye Volcano High, sure, they probably need that money. Let them go ahead and do it. That's perfectly fine. No qualms against it. Bethesda, you got money. You don't have to do this. You chose to do this. I can't support that. I'm very disappointed in you, Bethesda. I've already determined I'm not buying these games. Even when they come to Xbox. Just not doing it. I can wait. The only way to me this is an acceptable move is if Bethesda puts them on day and date on Game Pass whenever they hit Xbox. That's the only way I'm going to play them. I'm not throwing money for these games. I will not support that practice. And this is coming from probably the biggest Bethesda supporter who just blindly buys Bethesda games. Just because Bethesda puts it out there. Even if I don't care for the game, I buy a Bethesda game. But I can't do this. I supported you, Bethesda, because you were doing the right thing this generation. You're very pro-consumer, and this is just the wrong move. I can't support that. So, that's my piece on that.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll just say really quick, I haven't decided what I'm going to do. A. B, I'm in a different position because I may have to cover for review or previews and stuff, so not exactly the same situation. And then C, Sony must have offered them a ton of cash for this. Because this is unheard of from Bethesda. I'm with you on that. Like, this has not happened before. So, that's just my quick thing. Deathloop does look cool, though.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm well into Deathloop. I can't wait to go around and ruin people's days by killing them.
Exactly.
Okay, next up on my list is Solar Ash, which is the most Kojima game that doesn't have him involved. So this is the trailer where a spaceman that looks exactly like Ludens finds a small child and a cat, a holographic cat, and then they fight a satellite, and then they end up on the moon. Sure, why not? There is literally nothing. Are there any other talking points about this? I don't think so.
Nope.
Solar Ash, coming 2021. Hitman 3. It looks badass, and I can't wait to make him dress up in a flamingo outfit.
Mm-hmm.
I've just realised I've confused Solar Ash with Pragmata. See, I mentioned this before we went live about weird that don't mean anything. What the hell does Pragmata have to do with astronauts and the moon? Oh man, come on! There were a bunch of games. Anyone want to talk about Hitman before we move on?
It looks good. Like, I'm not really sure what to say beyond that. It looks good. I'm into it. It's Hitman. I like it.
Now, this game, Little Devil Inside, which is coming out this year, I'm really excited for this. It looks like goofy Dark Souls, and I'm well up for this. This is the game where you play the dude with like the totally accurate battle simulator eyes, and you go around fighting all the monsters, and then there's the old man in a manor who poops at the same time as someone dropped a bomb. Anyone remember this trailer?
Yeah, it's
Not
interesting.
me.
I need to see more. I need to see more about the gameplay and like what it is.
It was the only game that was like funny, other than Bugsnax. But that's Bugsnax, you know.
Yeah, that was. I mean, this is the same guys who made what's it called?
Octodad.
Yeah, Octodad. So I mean, I expected as much from them. So I was like, all right, cool, keep doing that. So.
Yep. We've already talked about Deathloop. So there's only 2 major games left. We'll come on to the one that we're all excited for at the end. We'll talk about the one that we all think is a bit average apart from Fame. Let's talk about Horizon. Let's talk about the official announcement of Horizon Forbidden West.
No, wait. I gotta back my man Fame up on this one. Here, but first,
you fast enough. Wow.
Hey, I've been on record about. I have never changed my opinion about this. I've been saying the first Horizon has been a pretty damn average game since before it came out, boy.
My heart is broken, James. I thought better of you. I didn't think you would go down this path of terribleness, and I hope God that you see the light that Horizon Zero Dawn will be Game of the Year, whatever year it is released.
Hey, look.
I'm glad that. Hey, look, guys. At least Nick isn't here to remind us that he's not going to like it, but he'll vote it up in our Game of the Year contenders. So,
exactly.
There's that.
But like it is
Every
very
time.
impressive. It is very impressive as a game, and someone one of the guys at IGN UK put it really well. It's moment to moment gameplay is really good, but the moment you remove yourself from the game, at least when I'm playing it, I just forget it completely. Other than the art style, like the actual gameplay itself, it's really involving when you're doing it, but it doesn't stay with you. At least that's my experience with it. But I'm
not as high on the original as some people are, James, but I get what you're saying. Even if I don't agree per se, I get what you're saying. I do want to say, however, that the Forbidden West looks colorful. Like, holy crap, it looks good. The coastal setting, Aloy diving underwater, and like the density of the core, like, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm definitely all in on it.
I think this really has the potential to be the Assassin's Creed 2 of the franchise. And if that is the case,
I agree.
I think we are in for really interesting.
Absolutely, totally with you on that.
Fame, do you want to fanboy for a bit?
Yeah,
Please.
I just want to say that that moving
He's
forward,
pissed off right
this
now.
universe deserves to be destroyed because no Baloy slander will be tolerated. Yeah, man, I lost my ish a bit when they finally showed him. Yeah, of course, we all knew it was coming. I love Horizon Zero Dawn. I love Aloy the character. I mean, everyone else. I don't want to spoil who the antagonist is if you haven't played the first one, but everyone else, outside of those two characters, yes, like you can say they're forgettable. But Aloy herself, I love the character. I mean, the game will probably be when it releases the best looking game out. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn now looks amazing. I really can't wait to see how it's going to look and run, on PCs. But definitely, it's a day zero buy for me. I'm praying to God there's a PS5 limited edition console. That way I can purchase it. I mean, I can't get enough of the franchise, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I hope that it makes a believer out of some people. And I hope the people who weren't all the way up on the first one can come around in the second one and give them what they believe was missing to believe the first one was a great game.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. I'd love to be proved wrong. I'd love to fall in love with this game. I want all games to be good. This is my position all the time.
And this is why we love you, James.
Yeah. Amongst other reasons. Do we think it's going to be a launch title?
No.
No, I think
this
like
is their
2022 probably.
This is their stretch
Early,
game.
maybe
Just be like, hey, look, this is
2022.
coming. Be okay.
It's 2021. It's 2021. I'll tell you, but
Oh,
it's not.
2021.
But to be clear, well, hey, they didn't say that. I'm telling you, it's 2021. However, I will say this: it's
anymore.
however, it's not early 2021. It's going to be more like middle of the year, maybe even holiday.
I do know games take a long time to make, but we are over the 3-year anniversary of the release of the first one. And yes, they had Frozen Wilds to go through, but if they want to sell this console, if PlayStation come out and say, on day one, baby, we've got Horizon Zero Dawn, our most successful original IP from the last generation.
Because I mean, there's really no telling when especially big development teams are going to be back in the same office working together. And so I mean, it's hard for me to trust any release date or release window at this point. That's why I'm like, I really don't expect it till 2020. If it's 2021, that'd be great. But with everyone working from home and that being a strain on game development, it's hard for me to like pinpoint any release date, even for stuff that's in the pre-alpha stages. It's just so much that goes into it, and the more they're apart, the more difficult that game development will be.
Mm-hmm. All right. We didn't cover everything in this video, like the Demon Souls remake, which does look very interesting. We didn't talk about NBA 2K and a couple of the little stuff because we've got stuff to talk about, and because 3 of us love horror and they fucking announced Resident Evil Village. God damn it!
Yes,
Which looks fucking amazing, dude.
And
It
guys,
looks so good.
next gen only. They dropped the current gen consoles. That thing is going all in. I cannot wait for that. It looks.
RE Engine was already a beast this gen on the PS4 and the Xbox One. I mean, just based on that trailer, what this game is going to be like on next gen. My God. My God.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and evidently it's a snowy village of like a Silent Hill-esque thing. The press release says they want the village to be a character just as much as the actual characters. There's werewolves and witches. But yes, you know what? Honestly, I know we'll learn more, but I could go in only knowing that. That trailer alone is enough for me to just say I'm interested in this.
I mean, we saw like if it's the exact same team that worked on Resi 7, like we saw how they do character in location because the Baker house, the Baker mansion, was the best part of that game and is like it's one of those great video game locations. And of course, Resi have history with great video game locations with the village in Resi 4. Fair enough, I haven't played it, but I am well aware of like that as an iconic gaming location. And if anyone is listening to this and hasn't watched the like 3 or 4 minute video that Capcom released with 2 of the devs talking about the game, go and watch it because like they don't tell you any spoilers or anything, but they just give you a bit more information about the game.
I agree with what you guys were saying. Like, this is a game that I want to go into just completely fresh. Like, that trailer was enough. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. I already know I'm going to like the game. And I really want to be surprised going into it. Because what we saw, I mean, this is basically everything you want in a horror game. And I just can't wait. Easily, this is my most anticipated game in next gen so far. Easily.
Yeah, I'll concur with you there. This is a big day one buy for me. And we're talking about like spoilers and not giving anything away. Let us not forget that the marketing up to the release of Resident Evil 7 was absolutely perfect. They gave everything you needed to know, they told you. Everything you didn't need to know, that they kept a complete secret.
Yep.
And they're going to do the same again. You can tell how much they care because they were afraid to show one image in the trailer. This is the one with the little. It's like I think it's like the crest of the village. I don't even know what it is. Like shown it to us, but I don't know what it is. That's the best thing about this. Oh man, it's great. All right, we can talk about we can fan out about Resident Evil 8 for as long as we can, but we have to talk about the box.
Yep, and that's the last point here because we're only we haven't really scratched the surface. Yes, everything. So
I think it looks really cool, and I want it in my house right now. I think it looks awesome. I am so happy that finally, after years of these weird console designs that have leaked weeks before, that we finally get something that looks actually cool and not just a box. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I like it. It looks bold. It looks unique. I'm excited for it. That's my biggest thing about it.
Am I tripping, or does it need a stand to lay on the side?
It does.
You're not tripping.
It's got one.
Well, all I'll say is this: it better include the stand because of that. It better. You can't.
I would think so.
I'll say this. I had a very strong reaction at first. I've mellowed out now. I'm not a fan. I'm not going to say it's hideous, but I'm not a fan of the design. I think it's awkward. I think that it's a little it's just awkward to me. It feels edgy. It feels a little too over-designed. It looks like a fan render that I'd see in some trash tier website. It's just...
There were so many people who were wondering, how will the Xbox Series X fit my home entertainment? We don't see how tall this PS5 is. The
PS5 is taller than the Series X. It's taller.
It's beefy.
That's
bigger than the original PS3.
That's my only critique with it.
This is speculation. We do not know for certain. This is based on fan and stuff. We do not have an official
pretty darn
measurements
certain.
and size.
See,
all right. Technically, you're right. Technically, James is right. We're pretty darn sure that it's taller than the Series X.
95% sure that thing is a skyscraper.
It's beefy, for sure.
Oh, taller than the Series X. Oh yes, that's not that.
Yeah. Now we
there's
know
nothing to doubt about that.
We know so far that it's not going to be as wide, boxy wise, but it is basically confirmed at this point that the volume of the console is bigger than the Series X because it's going to go back deeper and it's taller than it. I've already measured out my entertainment system. I can't fit it in here. I have nowhere to put it. Like it doesn't fit in any of the slots that I already have, and I'm just like, well, the Series X is going to be snug. It'll barely fit, but it's going to be snug. So I'm not thrilled with that either. but at least it's going to fit still. But I have to keep it up as its main piece, and I think that's why the design works for it, because it's too big to fit anywhere. It has to look good.
I want it in pride of place. I want it to be like the main feature of my whatever my future entertainment setup is. Like, look at this beautiful thing that I get to control my entertainment.
See, it's all a matter of personal taste, right? Beautiful is not the word that I would use to describe it. I'm more of a fan of more sleek, understated, more industrial type of design, which the PS5 is certainly not that. The PS5, on the other hand, looks like when I was 10 years old in 1995, if you asked me to draw what the PS5 would look like in 2020, I probably would have drawn something that looked like what it looks like. And I guess to that end, there's a certain charm in it, but overall, I'm not a fan of the design. And I hate that the one with the disc is not symmetrical. The one that has a disc drive. It drives me up a wall.
Oh, yeah, we haven't even
I will say
this.
That came out of nowhere. It's smart, though. It's really smart for them to offer what will probably be a slightly cheaper digital-only version.
Oh, I agree.
The more I look at
Can
it,
someone tell me what happened to all the confused parents and grandparents when they walk in the store?
Fame. I know who you're talking about, and it disappeared into thin air. We both know it. We both know it.
Yep.
Many confused parents.
What I'm waiting for is the moment where they say, "Oh, guys, like." Oh my God! When Karen goes to GameStop to buy little Timmy his new PlayStation, they're gonna say, "Oh, little Timmy wants the PlayStation with the Spider-Man on it." It's like, well, which one? It's like, well, Spider-Man. It's like, well, okay, well, there's Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is on PS5, and also there's Spider-Man PS4, which is on PS4. And it's like, well, I don't know the difference. Spider-Man's Spider-Man, right? I don't know the difference at all. And it's like,
yep.
So it's like, well, guess he's getting the PlayStation 4 then.
People hate when we use their own theories against them. Like this thing backfired on some group of people in particular with the quickness. Like they're completely silent now. No more confusion from parents.
And it's funny too because the argument was about the Series S, which has not been announced yet, which we know exists, but has not been announced yet. And so literally they're getting that part out of the way now just to get this over for us.
What's great about it is that part, though, Ivan. You're absolutely right, because now that they've admitted that there's no problem, they better not bring it up again. It better stay buried now. That's just how this works.
So my question,
it's funny.
My question is going to be what that price point and the difference is going to be. Like, it's pretty much understandable because, as we've already said before, there's not going to be one of the versions, the all digital version, is not going to have a disc drive in particular. Reading what Jim Ryan has said about it, he is stating there is no difference whatsoever between the two except that drive. So they're not beefing up the hard drive or anything like that. There might be a small difference in it. If they wanted to be bold and say there's no price difference between the two, I'd be like, wow, that is some cocky stuff, Sony.
You're gonna get a $550 PS4 and a Fox with a disc and a $500 without disc. My heart of hearts tells me that this thing is going to be more expensive than people think. I think I know there are a lot of rumors are going on about something, but I think the issue with their cooling being so expensive, I really think that's going to be an issue. And that's why the price of the console is going to be much higher. It won't be $600, but $550, I can see it.
Yeah. I'll say this. Can I say this real quick? And then I'll shut up. I promise. Fame, I didn't think that was possible, but I will say this. After the second SKU was released and unveiled, I admit it's a possibility. I'll put it that way. I think like it is no $550 for the one with the disc drive is no longer off the menu. I still don't think it's super likely because these console makers know what happens when you go above 500, but maybe with a second SKU that's $50 cheaper, they're bold enough. I don't know. If that's the case,
in my opinion...
Well, go ahead, James, and then Mike, if that's okay. Go ahead.
Mine is really... I looked this up earlier today. The price of the PlayStation, the original PlayStation, in the year it was released, is equivalent to just over $500 now.
Yep.
So gaming has not got more expensive; it has got cheaper.
Yep.
Correct.
The thing is about it, though, is that we have gotten to the point where anytime someone tries to go above anything, no one will do it. We have made it very abundantly clear we are not willing to pay $600 for a console. That's
But what if they all just cost it now?
That'd be interesting. But that's my question. Ultimately, is going to be okay. Well, what is?
We're either going to get expensive consoles, or every game is going to cost $70 for going forward now.
Yep, that's one theory too. Other people are posting next gen only games as being something like $70 a game. So it's like that's, I don't know. That might be a case, but I mean, we are long overdue for that to happen.
That's I can't wait to see who the first one is that tries to sell a game for $70. It will happen.
It's going to be Rockstar.
Eventually, it's going to happen. Unfortunately,
it's going to be Rockstar. It's going to be GTA 6.
Would not be
you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of people theorized that Red Dead Redemption 2 was going to be the first one that tried it. They didn't. They didn't try it for that, but
watch it be Call of Duty. Watch it be Call of Duty.
I'll say this:
that Call of Duty has competition. Rockstar has no competition.
That's a good point, James. That's an excellent point. Also, by the way,
if FIFA decided to be $10 extra, people would just buy PES. They just would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and which is depressing, but you're absolutely right. Also, I will say, Call of Duty may not come out this year. By the way, that's a legit possibility.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that, Sam, because that was the one thing at that event. I'm watching the PlayStation event, I'm thinking to myself, where's Call of Duty?
Yep, same, man, same. I was like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And now a very reputable insider who has gotten a lot right about Call of Duty seasons and past games is saying there's a 50-50 chance this game just gets delayed out of the year. Because it's a mess, supposedly.
I heard it was having some issues.
It's having issues big time. And since Sony has the marketing deal, I can't imagine they're very happy about that. you have to imagine they're not exactly pleased.
Yeah, that would really suck for them. But anyway,
it really would.
Simply because of time's instance, I know we got to cover a lot, and I know we're going to stay over, obviously, but I'll at least give everything else a fighting chance. So I just simply because of that. So Last of Us 2 coming out this Friday. Reviews drop. Reviews look really, really good. It's currently sitting at 96 on Metacritic. Obviously, manipulating that's always happened at some point, but only to a minor degree would actually affect anything. But who is going to be picking up Last of Us Part 2?
Yes.
It's already a thing, my guy.
All right.
I don't pre-order games. I pre-order this.
Yep.
Yep. There you go. My understanding from talking with a lot of people, and I'm about to find out for myself, is even if I know, let me put it this way, guys. There are people I know who hate the first game that are now saying this is their favorite game ever. This is something special. This is not one to miss. This is one we're going to want to talk about.
I hadn't heard that. You didn't tell me that. I'm dancing right now.
So yeah, just hang in there. Not too much longer.
Yep. All right. There was some stuff, at least in terms of review things that happened between Jason Schreier, Neil Druckmann, and Corey Barlog. Honestly, go look it up for yourself. All I have to say is everybody involved there needs to delete their tweets and apologize. That was just
Agreed. All three could have been the better person and walked away. It was stupid.
Like everybody looks bad just for interacting in that. Like Jason Schreier, I mean, if you want to tank your credibility, go right ahead. Like that's up to you. But Yeah, no. Anyway, that's
All this Twitter spat goes to prove is that the best developers are in fact Ian Dallas and the team at Giant Sparrow. Please tell us what you're making. Why won't you tell us?
I'm waiting for another bird-related title.
Well, we know it is, because it's the only thing he told us in the interview we got. He said it's going to have a bird in the title.
Yep, that's all we want. Just give me that. All right, moving on a little bit. We actually had some weird news. Not like, and this is negative in general, but it's just like just weird opportunity stuff just popped up. So interesting stuff. So what happened is Warner Brothers, AT&T is actually looking at selling the Warner Brothers games division off right now. Now, notably, I want to say this does not necessarily include their titles. This is really just the studios in particular. So this is not like
Mortal Kombat and Fear IPs. It would include both of those.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not.
But it would not include, like, you're not getting the Batman. You're not getting
Lord of the
Batman.
Rings.
You're not getting Harry Potter. Like, that stuff is not included in this deal. Right.
Yeah, like
Right.
that's what I'm saying. This is not including any major stuff. Like, don't go around expecting this. It's not that. But
it's not included, but you could almost guarantee whoever gets the studio is probably going to have some type of licensing deal to continue to have Rocksteady continue to make,
Sure.
Batman games. It's not included, but you can almost guarantee a licensing deal.
Yes, Fame. Whoever would take up this deal would then negotiate a deal for the licenses. Absolutely.
Oh, sure.
But that isn't in the $4 billion price tag. Is the point I'm making.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's not a part of the deal, but yeah, whoever gets that is going to have a very good opportunity. Like, that is a very good call for them. But yeah, that'd be interesting. One thing I'm hoping that they get the opportunity to do is they can get the freedom to see this for Xbox. Like, just imagine if Xbox just jumped in, got Rocksteady, and brokered a deal for a new Batman game. Like, that would be a pretty cool deal. Like,
It would make a lot of
they're
sense.
working on.
It'd make a lot of sense considering that Sony's got Spider-Man on lock, and if Xbox acquires WB Games, it also means that they would have two of the more popular fighting games out there in Killer Instinct and Mortal Kombat under their belt too.
Yep.
See, honestly, Mike, I like where you're thinking is that I don't like publishers acquiring other publishers. I want to go out there and say this right now. I don't care who gets them. I'm not happy about it because I don't like publishers going under. Now, if studios were individually being sold off piecemeal, yes, Phil, for the love of God, go pick up NetherRealm and give us Killer Instinct versus Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
100%. Yeah, like, please. And maybe grab Rocksteady or Monolith or Montreal where you're at. But that's on an individual studio basis. I'm not a fan of publishers buying publishers. It consolidates the industry. Just wanted to put that out there,
Yeah.
I just want a new game from Rocksteady. It's been 5 years.
Yeah. It's
Come on,
no
guys.
game in sight. No game in sight.
Like not even like hints. Oh well, no, there have been hints of this Court of Owls thing, but has that been officially Rocksteady, or has that been?
No, that's WB Montreal who did Origins.
Weren't we?
Come on, guys.
Refresh my memory, but 2 years ago, weren't there rumors of Rocksteady working on a Justice League game?
Yeah,
There were
Superman
rumors,
game.
and then there were rumors
There's
of them.
rumors all the time. There was rumors of them doing a Harry Potter game.
No, the Harry Potter game is very real and probably going to be announced this year, but that's Avalanche. That's not Rocksteady.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting times to be at WB. I don't envy any of the stress that the developers are no doubt going under right now.
Yeah. Anyway, moving right along, that's a little spot here. EA announced a new game. This little bit here. This one is another Star Wars game. It's going to be Squadron. So it actually looks pretty cool, honestly. It looks like it reminds me of Rogue Squadron, so from back in the day. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, you got thoughts about that? I don't really care for Star Wars that much comparatively, but
I mean, it does. I think it looks fun, and if you look at what EA and I don't think DICE is developing this one, but if you look what EA did with the Battlefront games, they're pretty accessible, and I think this one is going to be more of the same. It's going to be very accessible for people, and they're supporting VR with it, which for people that have PSVR, that's going to be great, and it's definitely going to be a great utilization of VR. So
absolutely, if you got a PSVR headset or a PC headset, this is the time to jump in, and also full crossplay. You can play with your friends anywhere, no matter the platform, and it's only $40. I am having trouble believing this is an EA game, but here we go. They're you know what? Like, is it going to be the biggest, flashiest thing ever? No, but they're doing all the right things, so I'll be into it.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Anything else? I'm trying to think what else we got here. I think that covers most of our topics there. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap things up here?
Not really, honestly. if I'm being honest, like, that's basically everything. I'm hungry and I want to go play The Last of Us Part 2.
Yep. All right. So we'll wrap things up here. We'll do our outros and kind of explain what's happening out a little bit later. Fame, where can good people find you, sir?
Sorry, I'm here. Yes, I'm sorry. I was arguing with some people. Sorry. Yes, you can find me on the Twitters at FameENT2K, YouTube FameENT2K. Also, everything I do is on LV1Gaming.com. I have one hell of a team, and I am super proud of the response of the articles that we've been putting out. We're on pace to surpass our opening month, which our opening month was amazing. So thank you everyone for the support. And yes, Fame ENT across the board, also at LV1 Gaming on the tweets and LV1Gaming.com.
All right. And I know James passed out. So to Mike.
all right, guys, you can find me on Twitter at The Truth of Mike P, pretty much everywhere else at Mike P The Truth. And you can check out what I'm writing on Level 1 Gaming at LV1Gaming.com. Just wrote a piece about Warhawk and why it's an excellent forgotten PlayStation exclusive. Sony, at some point down the line, please remake this game on PS5. Thank you for tuning in, and have a good night.
All right. And Sam?
Yeah, so I'm at Samuel Tolbert on Twitter. Come find me there. Come check me out. I may not respond to you immediately because of what I'm about to go play, but I'm happy to talk, happy to listen, happy to chat about games and all that. And you can find me on Windows Central, Android Central, and iMore, covering games day in, day out.
And I'm Anchorman V2. I'm actually going to be streaming the Halo series with Dollface FX on her Mixer channel after this, so that'll be fun. We're actually looking forward to that. So yeah, follow me on Twitter at Anchorman V2, and I will tweet out that link once we get everything rocking and rolling there. So yeah, guys, we're taking an indefinite hiatus. Things are going on behind the scenes. We can't talk about really. Things colliding in the multiverse, frequencies getting crossed, things of that nature. If you want to find out stuff, I mean, you guys can follow us on the Twitter account, Multiverse Show. Whenever we're ready to get things back up there, we'll have more information for you guys there if and when we're coming back. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys have an enjoyable summer, fun things to talk about and be excited for. Next gen, we are right on that precipice of new things and new opportunities and new experiences for everyone to enjoy. I want to thank you guys for being very supportive of us this last season. We really appreciated it. Thank you guys for everything, and we are out of here. Thank you for watching The Greatest Show on Mondays.